if you're a content creator who wants to create a professional background with really great lighting, but you don't want to spend a ton of money on professional equipment, I have a really accessible idea for you. Now, we have lots of videos teaching you how to build your own professional studios in the corner of your house, or studios that you can actually take with you as you travel and use in hotel rooms without a ton of space being taken up or money being invested. And we're going to link that playlist for you down below, so make sure you're checking that out. But this is actually incredibly simple because this exact setup is 3 color changing light bulbs. These are things that I got at Walmart and at Target and link up to an app so that I can change them as I go. So I'm actually going to show you what this looks like. So like I said, 3 light bulbs back here. I hide them with my screens, with my plants. I'll put them lower than like the desk behind me, something to block the actual light bulbs. At times I actually had a light bulb that was like behind my head and my body blocked it so that it didn't show that specifically in the video. And that allows me to illuminate things without casting that color elsewhere. So you can see I've got my app up here. I'm actually going to change the color so you can see what it looks like as I'm changing it. It is literally just tapping on the app and changing the color. So you can see I've got 2 of the lights connected and one of them is not connected to the other. I have it on a different setting so that I can have multiple versions of this. So let's just say I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a green. Now I've got green and I've got that blue. I could do the pink and now I've got the blue. All I have to do to change that middle color is to then go out of this and into my other light, and I can change that color. So now I've changed it to red. I've got a yellow base, a green base, I've got the blue base, purples. So I can make it multicolored or I can make it that one specific color. So let's say I wanted it all to look alike. Now I've got all of the pinks and there's all those different shades. You can go lower and higher, so you can kind of raise those up and down. And depending on how you have the light bulb attached, these are actually dimmable and you can turn them on and off from your app. So 2 of my lights are rigged up so that I can actually turn it on and off right inside of my app. So you can see how I just turned it off and now I've turned them back on. The other one I have to manually click on because I don't have it in the proper setting. So this allows me to do a lot inside of the lights that I'm creating. I'm also able to bring in different versions of this. So I can make it change colors. So as I'm talking inside of my content, you can see I'm not touching, hands off, but it's shifting colors. I can change it to something like fireworks where it's going to change. So I've got one of them that's stabilized and one of them that's changing those colors there. You can kind of see how that's going here. I can also create custom settings in this. So this is my Cync light bulbs. I really like using the same brand. So if you're going to get color changing light bulbs, get the same brand so that you can link them all together and do this however you want. Because I just changed to a different location for my office, I have the set of lights that's connected and the one that's not connected because I had been using them on different floors of my house and now they're all in the same corner. So I can connect them all together once I get the proper dimmable turning on and off setting. But for now, I have them on different settings and I like having them on different settings so I can have them at different colors. So I actually may leave it this way. And if I wanted it to look similar, I could actually go in on the other setting and I could turn on, oops, that's the wrong one. I could turn on the color changing and I could keep it the same or I could keep it different. So I've just turned this on a different setting. So now you can see I've got different flashing colors in different places, different ways. So this allows me to make a lot of choices on the content that I'm going to be creating and the way that I have colorized my background. I can match it to different types or different pillars of content I'm creating. I can change it to match my guests on my talk show. I can change it so that it looks different in between different clips of my show. And if I change my camera angle, that's going to give me entirely different looks as well. So I can do it based on mood. I can do it based on topic. I can do it based on what my guests have for their backgrounds. I can do it to match my outfits. I can do it to match all sorts of different things. This gives me a lot of freedom with this. And it's literally just 3 different light bulbs. These are just light bulbs. They're not professional lighting. You guys know I've been a professional photographer and videographer for like well over a decade and a half, 2 decades at this point. And so this is not new to me. I have professional lighting. I use professional lighting, but this is just very simple and accessible for anybody to get. It's a very inexpensive way to invest in lighting, and you can find it in any store. You don't have to buy it from a specific location. And then you can link it up to your apps and you can do some really cool stuff with this. Bonus points, if you have this, you can now also use this for really fun movie nights or for different events that you're going to be doing, or whatever. You can do this for your live streaming and for your content creation, and you can do it for your movie nights. You can do it for events you're hosting. If you're going to have Christmas and you want to light things up in Christmassy colors while you're cooking your dinner, you can do all sorts of things with these lights, especially if you're able to move them around your house and if you're able to link them up to the buttons so that you can be dealing with those while you're out and about. You can even, and this is a really fun one, if you have it linked up so that you can turn it on and off from your app. If you are out and about and you're coming home from your car, you can actually turn these lights on so you've got some lighting to enter your house if you weren't anticipating being out after dark. So there's a lot of things that you can do with these. I will say, if you have these light bulbs hooked up so that you can turn them on and off from the app, if your power goes out, they will, when the power comes back on, they will turn on. So if you have them tucked away in a room that you're not usually in, that could potentially be a little bit of a problem for you. Or if you're going on vacation and you forgot to unplug them and your power goes out, you may have lights on for a while. So just make sure you're mindful of unplugging them if you're going to leave for any duration of time. And then make sure that you know that these things are going to pop back on after the power comes back on as well, so you can turn those off. But you have a lot of freedom with this and a lot of ability to do different things. And you can see how all these colors are shifting, all these things are happening so that I can create interesting content. Now, for the most part, I don't love the color shifting because it's very quick, especially with the pre-programmed ones, but I can customize it to change the colors, to change the patterns, to change all of the things. I still think it's a little fast for me, so I don't typically use the color shifters, but I have the ability to do so if it matches the content that I am creating. And you can have these beautiful wave of colors as you are creating your content. And the more space you have, you can just add more light bulbs in. Just go right down the row, hide them again behind plants or monitors or whatever it happens to be, so that you can have those beautiful professional looks to the content that you are creating. Drop your comments or questions down below. I will link this specific brand. I very much like this specific Cync brand. Not all of them work the same way. And if you have them from different brands, you can't link them up together, but you can still do really cool things with it. They're very cost affordable and they're very long lasting, easy to replace if you need to. So this is definitely one that I like to use, and that is the brand that I am buying as I am continuing to build things out and add more mood lighting throughout my house for both content creation purposes and just for mood lighting purposes. So we will see in the upcoming episodes as we continue to help you navigate the world of being a content creator, save you time and effort creating your content so you can make more money and also live your best life because you don't have to spend as much time creating the really great content that's making you that money. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.